Gorgeous! Yes, this is my third video for today, and that's because I missed the past 2 Saturdays, so I'm just spamming you with them all at once. You're welcome. I think. Looking at my t-shirt, I'm sure that you can make an assumption about me. Besides the fact that I enjoy spending money that I don't have on things that I don't need, it is that I love conspiracy theories, which you would also know if you watched my video 16 Facts About Me. If you haven't, I'll link it somewhere on the screen. For this video, I'm going to talk about some of my favorite conspiracy theories. No, I will not be talking about the ones that everybody knows and is aware of, such as Bush did 9/11, or the Rapunzel is actually in Frozen because her parents are cousins and their ship crashed. Their shipwreck gave birth to Jane from Tarzan, but then like the actual ship is like at the bottom of the sea, and that's the ship that you see in The Little Mermaid and that one, and I'm not going to get into that. And I'm also not going to get into the really unbelievable conspiracies such as Justin Bieber is a lizard man and Beyonce and Jay-Z are the leaders of the Illuminati, because I personally don't believe those, so I see no point in telling you about them. Also, quick shout out time. I'm going to dedicate this video to my good friend and pageant sister, Lexi Bucelato. Well, her full name is Alexis, but I call her Lexi because I do. I was actually at her fashion show last night, and that's where I got this super cute hat. I'm such a fan. Yeah, so I'm going to dedicate this video to her, and I also want to dedicate it to my conspiracy theory nerd friends. Me and 3 of my close friends actually have a group chat called Zeitgeist that we named after the movie, because we all just got together and watched the movie, and because we're all such conspiracy theory nerds. And yeah, I'm actually going to reference that movie later on in the video. There are certain parts of it that I don't want to talk about in this video because they can be controversial, and I don't really want to get into controversial stuff. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first theory that I'm going to be talking about is the Mandela effect. This started when an article came out about Nelson Mandela, who passed away a few years ago, and by a few years ago I mean like a lot of years ago, like almost a decade ago, I think. And a lot of people were really confused because they were like, wait, didn't he die in prison? And because a lot of people like swear that they remember hearing about it. Nelson Mandela died in prison. And then all of a sudden this article comes out and he's like, yeah, Nelson Mandela just died. And everyone's like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Blah, 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 blah. This theory stems from the fact that people believe that there was a slight ripple or a slight change in the multiverse, and it created a glitch where everybody remembers something happening, but it actually didn't happen because it happened in an alternate timeline. Another prime example of this is the Berenstain Bears. Everybody, and I mean literally everybody, remembers the Berenstain Bears being spelled with an E where the hashtag is. Because, I mean, I remember that. I remember reading the books as a kid, and I was like, oh, Berenstein, like Frankenstein, right? Yeah, because I remember thinking that. And then all of a sudden, everybody looks at their Berenstain Bears books, and it's not spelled with an E, it's spelled with an A. The Berenstain Bears. Berenstain. What does that even mean? Like, what is... Berenstain makes sense, because, like, I've seen, like, Einstein be part of a last name, and that's, like, a common thing, and they're bears, so, like, Berenstain. Berenstain, whatever you want to call it, that makes sense. And then all of a sudden it's Berenstain, and everyone's like, no. And I remember asking my brother, I was like, how do you spell it? And he was like, I can't spell it off the top of my head, but he spelled it with an E. And I was like, really? And then we dug out our closet. We went through our closet to find our old Berenstain Bear books, and you know what? Guess what we found? It was an A. And he was like, what? And I was like, what? Other examples include Kit Kats. A lot of people remember seeing like the Kit Kat logo having a dash between Kit and Kat. There's no dash. And everyone's like, no, there was a dash. Yeah, there's a bunch of these, and there's so many of these. I stand this theory. I really do believe in this theory. I believe in it a lot. The theory is that these time travelers or whatever happened where we all remember one thing, maybe they forgot to change a few things and it stuck with us. The next theory I want to talk about is about Tim Burton. He is my dude. I love Tim Burton. I have loved Tim Burton ever since I was a kid. Like last week, I fell down the CORALINE conspiracy theory hole by the THEORIZER. I'll also link some of his videos in the description. I'll just link the first one and you guys can click through them because it's like 15 parts about CORALINE conspiracy theories, and it was mind-blowing. I was up to like 4 a.m. watching them. It was intense, but I mean, Tim Burton's a dude, isn't he? This theory is that all of his movies, but specifically Frankenweenie, The Corpse Bride, and The Nightmare Before Christmas are all connected. Tim Burton has actually said before that every story has a beginning, a middle, and an end, not necessarily in that order. The order that the movies actually came out: Nightmare Before Christmas, Corpse Bride, and then Frankenweenie. Recommend all of those movies, 100% quality movies. So the theory is that the main character is the same. Jack is a nickname, like Jack the Pumpkin King. That's a nickname. It's probably based off of Jack the Ripper or some other scary type of thing. It's a nickname. His actual name is Victor, which is the same name of Victor from The Corpse Bride and Victor from Frankenweenie. There's a lot of names in the world, okay? There's a lot of names. And to have two main characters of two really popular movies have the same name, there's definitely something intentional there. Also, Jack, okay, I know a lot of people named Jack. None of them actually have Jack as their real name. I know someone whose actual name is John, but he goes by Jack. I know someone whose actual name is Joseph, but he goes by Jack. It's not like anybody's actual name, it's a nickname. So that to me was like, click, check mark, whatever you want to do for that. Also, the dog. You have the Frankenweenie, and then you have the dog from Frankenweenie, and then from The Corpse Bride, when Victor goes into the dead person's realm, if you want to call it that, he sees a dog, and he was like, Scraps. His name was Scraps. And he was like, oh, it's my old dog, Scraps. Let's take a minute. The dog's name was Scraps. How do you make Frankenweenie? From scraps. Frankenweenie was literally created from scraps. I don't mean the dog scraps. I mean like scrap, like metal scrap parts, if you want to call it that. That's how Frankenweenie was made. And then Zero from Nightmare Before Christmas, who saves the day.
So, side note, upon more research, I came to the conclusion that Zero saves the day because of his glowing red nose, which could have been a result from radiation or from the electricity that was used to create Frankenweenie.
Gotta love dogs. I'm looking at Peanut, and Peanut's just, he's asleep. He's like, don't involve me. So yeah, that's all the same plot line, which is, after hearing this theory now, if you want to go rewatch them all in the order that they're meant to be in, which is Frankenweenie, Corpse Bride, Nightmare Before Christmas, I highly recommend it. You're gonna be pleasantly surprised. Now I want to talk about political conspiracy theories, which, I mean, there's a lot of these, so I'm not gonna get into all of them. But I did say that I'm not gonna get into the whole Bush doing 9/11 thing, and 9/11 being like a conspiracy theory in and of itself, so I'm not gonna get into that. But I do encourage, if you're interested in conspiracy theories, that's probably a good place to start. Let's talk about JFK. JFK, quality dude. You know what I just realized? JFK. His name is John Fitzgerald Kennedy. You know what they called him though? Jack! More proof. Jack is a nickname. It's not an actual name. The theory is that, there's so many theories surrounding this, but the one that I personally believe the most is that the murder was an inside job. He wasn't just murdered by some random dude, because then there's like a whole forensics thing with that, where like college students that are studying forensics have actually looked into it, and like from where this guy was standing and the angle, and it like physically doesn't make sense for that guy to have been the shooter or the only shooter. I mean, I believe it's completely possible that this guy was like, hey, screw you, Kennedy, and then he just bang. But I think that there was definitely another shot that killed him, and that was the motive. And there are many theories as to why. Marilyn Monroe, who actually died before he did, apparently the two of them were having an affair. He revealed to her some government secrets that she shouldn't have known, and therefore her death was a murder. Like, she didn't just die, she was murdered. Whatever they told you in the papers, whatever's online, she was murdered. because she knew too much. She knew secrets about Area 51. She knew secrets about the Cuban Missile Crisis that hadn't even happened yet. So they killed her. And then they killed off Kennedy to make sure that he wouldn't spill any more secrets, because Marilyn Monroe was an actress. And for some reason, he trusted her with highly classified government information. So if he was able to trust her, who knows who else he might have told, what he might have told other people, who knows what he might have said to the public even. And there's also a theory that he was just getting too popular, and the government didn't like that because they couldn't control him. The more popular that you are, the harder it is for people to control you. If Kennedy decided that he didn't want to be the government's puppet anymore and he wanted to break away and be independent, a lot of people would still support him and follow him. Enough so that he could easily overpower the government. And the government didn't like that, so they were like, well, we gotta take him out. Yikes. Those are some conspiracy theories that I wanted to share with all of you. I really hope you like this video because I love conspiracies. I love making conspiracy theory videos. I could talk about this forever. So yeah, if you like this, please like, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, let me know, and I'll make more like this. Alright, so that's all for today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next Saturday. Bisous, bisous.